it's us. Hello.
Hello, universe of
Sup?
persons on the interwebs.
Hello, internets.
Can we be heard? Oh, thanks for the subscribe, Paul.
Oh, thank you.
Is our sound happening?
Levels
mighty
levels are doing a
audience.
level thing, so I think there's good sound.
Kaitu says heard.
Heard.
Therefore, I
Excellent.
shall launch upon the thing what I say. Hello, internet friends and webcomic fans. It is your friendly neighborhood dungeon biologist, me, welcoming you to another episode of Trash Heroes, the D&D stream where we recount the epic adventures of a wildly improbable collection of horrible creatures known as the Trash Heroes. As always, our players are a collection of wonderfully talented internet artists, cartoonists, and various other sorts of talents that I won't get into. But please do check out all of their amazing works and their Soshi-poos, which you will find in the upper right-hand side of the stream. You can follow everybody in their various chosen ways. You can support them through their Patreons. Always support your local artists. And there is, of course, a Patreon for this stream as well, which I am delinquent in posting to, but I was going to do some posting this week. And you can find a link to that Patreon in the description below. All of that having been said, let's meet the characters. Absent this week is the keeper of the vermin, protector of the trash heap, fetid quaggle. He's all busy being French or something.
Oh,
Oh,
stink.
oh,
It's like he's right
Um,
here with us.
I'm
he's in the room.
fetid.
Now I
Fetid,
have
the
to draw
filthy
French
one.
fetid with just a little mustache.
Yep. Just make him Quebecois. I can only do the French from the Quebec. I need an NPC.
Aren't
From that.
Quebecois
Anyway.
the Quagles of France?
Yep. Oh, you're gonna get us in trouble.
I know.
Next up,
It's okay,
larger than
y'all
life
settlers.
pit fighting superstar Ugna Sugar Tusks.
Yeah. It is party time. It's
Indeed.
maybe not bone
You say it's
time.
furry
tonight.
time?
Party. I mean,
Okay.
it's always furry time, Randy.
I'm out. Bye.
And next
Said
up
the
is the
satyr.
trickster cleric. Yeah, exactly. Trickster cleric, rogue baker, and all-around party animal Tromlin Dariels.
Sup, sluts?
We go into the slut party.
Mm-hmm.
And the wild magic streaming sensation Morgan V. Satyr.
Well, accepting all sacrifices and blood donations via my deity patron.
Oh no, you're
Ring that bell.
cramping Copernicus's style there. And joining us shortly, but currently running a little late, is our sweet old grandpa, who's accidentally an ancient warlock, Copernicus Sunshine.
Hello.
Good. Perfect.
Old man voice.
What if I
You know,
was dealing
Barb
with
and
the
I used to
storage
do a thing.
engine?
Bob and I used to do a thing called the Rusty Bard.
Is that a direct quote? Because I can't even tell.
No,
I mean,
I don't think so. Might be.
It should be.
Come
Yeah,
over
it should be.
here
It
and
may
let me tell
be,
you
frankly.
all about it in excruciating detail.
So when we last left our heroes, oh my goodness,
I'm glad
we
you stopped
began.
because I was about to go on that tear. It was about to get really bad.
Oh, also,
I
happy
mean-
non-binary day, everybody.
Ooh,
Yay!
It's Envy
So
Day.
good.
Happy blow out your non-binary candles.
Perceive us. We are here.
Yeah, it's okay, Randy. You can jump back on that train when Peter's actually here to horrify with it, or
Have
participate.
you ever sexually prolapsed a throat?
When it comes to necromancy, that sort of thing's much more likely.
oh no!
We're off to a great start today, y'all. It's amazing. Do love to see
Uh,
it.
All right, Dungeons and or Dragons, everyone.
Listen, we put the trash in this whole stream. That's what we're doing.
Imdeeb. So we began last time with a split party. everyone had gone off to their contacts to learn what they could about the Raven cult and its current activities in the city of Ravenfall. Given all this weird stuff they've discovered with the magical curse that is affecting the Lady Nightshade. Morgan went and talked to Lady Pudenza Direlust and discussed the upcoming soiree, which will likely happen this game, where she learned which noble families are particularly important in the city and which must be invited to the gathering to avoid snubs. Several important people are traveling to Ravenfall specifically for this event from all over the place. There'll be delegations from various nations like the Elves and some of the southern nations, but also Baron Scully of Aldercove and his family, the Grey Towers, the Boltrees, and the Tyrathians of Evermere, who will be coming with the famous Captain Darius Sunshine, who suspiciously has the same last name as Copernicus. I'm sure that has no bearing on anything.
Nope.
They talked a little bit about the Raven cult, and Morgan learned that although the Ravenites are not particularly infiltrating Morgan's cult of blood sugar sex magic, several indeed, and several notable nobles are actually members of the Raven cult. Meanwhile, Ugna and Fetid went to visit the fighting pits and were confronted by a furious basilisk who blames Ugna for setting up this big fighting event and inviting important people while leaving Basilisk and her crew out of it. Worse, Fetid
straight broken.
Oh yeah, and worse, Fetid noticed that Basilisk bears the tattoos of the cult, indicating she's deep in that organization. Meanwhile, Tromlin and Copernicus went to the Skinned Rat to meet with an air elemental named Urias Gale, who is important in the Thieves Guild. They thwarted some spies following them and had a private meeting under a zone of truth where they learned a lot of stuff.
Thwarted, also known as
Yes.
tortured.
Thwarted, tortured, those words are similar. So you discovered that the local Thieves Guild leader, a ratkin named Cyril Sneer, is a member of high standing in the Raven cult and has been using the guild's resources to support the Ravenites. And a lot of other important figures in the city are Ravenites as well, including leaders of the Merchants Guild, Brewers Guild, Bakers Guild, and Weavers Guild. They've infiltrated the city guard and several noble houses, including the Blackmonts and the Grey Towers. And Eurus also suspects Phoenix Langarian, cousin of Baron Gregory, who's a very important figure in Ravenfall. After much information gathering, the party got back together near the marketplace, where Ugna was inconsolable and Tromlin was very angry about it. And Fetid crept away to go down in the sewers to meet with Toady the Quaggle, and found him just conspiring with two Weaselkin Raven cult members. They were talking about a dark sorcerer named Graculus and an impending attack on the city. Attempting to capture these trio with a web spell, Fetid quickly found himself in dire straits against Toad, who turned out to be a high-level monk with dark magics. But he sent his little familiar Filth to get help and was rescued at the last minute by Morgan and Ugna. You may recall Ugna spent a hero point to make a tremendous leap and hurl Morgan to the right spot to Dimension Door down into the sewers and cast a spell at Toady, who immediately fled the scene with a spell of his own. And that is where we begin.
Oh, wait, you forgot one thing.
Oh, what did I forget?
Tromlin was also working on a plan to smooth things over with the local fighters.
Yes, indeed. I don't know to what extent you had gotten with your plan yet, though.
We were going to go down there, but then we heard
There's
Indeed.
our nemesis for the day.
Oh.
Toad.
Love him. I'm gonna fall for the big,
So,
the BBEG. The BBEG is mine.
good. Good.
Ho-ho! At least he's very happy about being an evil cultist.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they tend to be pretty happy.
Not as
You didn't
happy
hear
as the
anyone
blood
in
sugar
Heaven's
sex
Gate
magic.
complain.
I hate to be a trope, but he's hilarious, and I love him.
It is the truth.
Just a little fun man.
So we begin with the gang catching up in the sewer to where Morgan has teleported down, following Filth, the Jade Pocket Dragon. And yeah, Fetid is maintaining a web spell that has pinned two of these black robe wearing weaselkin with Raven Queen symbols around their necks, and they are pinned to the wall. Fetid was badly injured, but I believe we ended last game with a heal spell
I think so.
from Tromlin when he got there. And
Like, I had also just finished shouting, like, you have angered the Frog Queen. And then
yes,
he, like, yikes out of there.
yes, indeed.
So I just tremendously ribbited at him. Now my anger is looking over towards the two weaselkin.
Yeah.
Who
So
are
these weasels
still here.
have stopped struggling to try and break out of the webs, because breaking out of the webs will just put them in your clutches. And so they're sort of like, uh-oh, as they face down the group of you.
Do I need to roll an intimidation? Or are they
It
already
depends.
basically
Oh,
intimidated?
they're pretty intimidated, but that doesn't stop you from rolling.
Nope. First roll of the night.
Like they already are pretty familiar with this powerful magic of Fetids that has bound them to place against the
That's
wall.
true. That
With
is
the
a-
guidance, which is a
Yeah.
+4 or a D4.
Plus a D4.
Plus a D4. Are you throwing a guidance on me?
Hell
I have a
yeah.
dirty 20, so let's crank that up a little bit more.
Add a
My
D4 to
two,
that.
22.
22. I will roll for these weasels to resist. They are. One of them rolled pretty well, and one of them rolled pretty crap. So one of them is slightly defiant.
Good.
Not like great, like he didn't, actually beat you, but he's like, we're not afraid of you. Yeah. And the other one behind him kind of does like a very half-hearted, yeah.
I glanced down at Morgan, still with that like fury in my eyes, and then I just look back over at the weasel and start like this like very menacing low chuckle.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all should probably just listen, if only for my sake, and I'll like be like shaking some scum off my hoops from being in another fucking hole, man. Oh my
Listen,
god.
we always go in the sewer. That's where we go. That's where we live.
I know this, but I can still complain.
I'm just gonna
As
heft
is-
my hammer and just like kind of
Yeah.
pat it against my palm for a minute or two while I look at
As
these
is
two
my right
jokers.
to complain. Whining is one of my soft skills. I don't know where I put my dice. I want to roll
You want to roll to
Um,
wine?
No, I have a pretty like mean solid stack on just the bonus. I don't need to roll. But
We're gonna
I
bad
do want to
cop,
roll.
good cop this.
Yeah, I'm going to roll persuasion. So yeah, to good cop.
Yep.
Indeed.
Cannot find my dice.
Tromlin's usually my go-to satyr for bad cop, good cop, but like Tromlin just got here, whereas Morgan was in here
Yep.
first. She saw more what was going on.
I mean, that
For
makes
sure.
total sense. Not hurt
Yeah.
my feelings.
I have my chest.
Although there's three of us, we could do bad cop, good cop, sexy cop.
All right. Since
That's a
I'm
thing.
excited about the Barbie
Good
movie,
cop, bad cop,
we're going-
vaguely threatening cop for unknown
Perfect.
reasons.
Yeah.
oh my god,
Just-
it's a 2.
It's Tromlin behind the weasel sniffing them.
What is this?
I'm too distracted by like getting the scum off my hooves, so that is
Yeah, you're
a
like
10.
Ew.
you're like trying to do the good cop thing and kind of be like, look, listen, but you keep going, oh god, how do you stand it? Oh, you smell so bad, and just it's just completely undermining the whole
Did you
bit.
piss yourself, or is that just like your regular smell?
Is this what it normally smells like here?
It's just normal.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. So, they're quaggles, correct?
That is correct.
Now, do all quaggles hate being clean?
It depends on the quaggle. These guys seem a little cleaner than most, mainly because they're wearing these like robes that they probably don't wear all the time. They've pulled out
Okay.
just for their this meeting with Toad. In fact, Randy, why don't you roll me an insight?
I will do that. Let me see what my insight is because I don't remember. Oh, it's a +7. Shit.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're
Nice.
good
Yeah,
at
you're
this.
pretty decent. You're a
This is your
wisdomy
thing.
casting kind of guy.
50 +7. Roll, motherfucker. That'd be a 24.
Very nice.
Excellent. Okay. So yeah, so several impressions that you as you finish healing Fetid and look over at this, you know, the usual Ugna is glowering and towering over these weasels as they cower against the wall. Morgan is like trying to kind of play the foil here and is clearly far too preoccupied with trying to stay clean. And you kind of glean a few things from these weasels. First of all, they clearly were treating this meeting that they just had as an incredibly important event. Like they effectively got dressed up for meeting with this Toad guy that
Right,
you
well,
heard
that's a big
people
deal.
shouting about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like he's clearly someone that they consider real important, but also openly wearing these Raven Queen symbols implies that they are either um, uh, clerics or warlocks affiliated with the Raven Queen, or like acolytes aspiring to be such. Because
Gotcha.
this isn't like a normal, just kind of like, hey, I've got a sign of this cult. I'm full on displaying that holy symbol, like
It's brazen at this point.
like a cleric would.
Which means Toad just jumped away with like Raven Queen magic, so he's probably like full on Warlock.
Yeah. So it looks like the interrogation or the intimidation isn't going as well as it could.
One of them is very intimidated. One of them is somewhat intimidated. You can definitely tell that with your insight.
I would like to help out.
Okay.
I'm going to walk over towards them and reach in my pack and pull out a vial of oil. I'm pouring the oil on both of them. Then I'm pulling out my flint and tinder and said, I'm going to ask you questions. Every time I don't get an answer I think is the truth, I'm going to strike the tinder. Eventually, you're going to go up in flames.
I like your camera angle change just to emphasize there. That was good.
Are we clear? And I hit the tinder once, intentionally not striking it.
Why don't you roll me an intimidate and do it with advantage, since they are already quite affected. A tiny squeak.
Okay, so let's see. Oh shit. Okay, so my first one was a 16, so it's a dirty 20. My second was a natural 20. 24.
Oh, hell
Nice.
Damn.
Dirty 20 and a natural
God
20.
damn.
So we're now entering Tromlin's unhinged stage, I think.
Yep.
So like this is to the extent that you guys kind of believe him.
We're like,
And the one with the brave face on it, like it just breaks. He already failed by a hair against Ugna, and now he has failed quite solidly against you. And of course, you have a nat 20. So yeah, they immediately kind of start like breaking down. They're like, oh no, please don't. We didn't mean it. We'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Right.
And at this point, if you guys would like, I know Peter's not here yet, but if you would like, I would happily have him cast a detect thoughts.
sounds good.
That sounds like a very earny thing to do.
We'll get
Yeah, in order to back you up.
Zone of Truth.
Yeah, of double check. detect thoughts. Level 2.
Also, I love that the group's just like, oh, that's Tromlin.
Yep. Oh, Tromlin, he's such a good actor.
What else do I have to go on to relate it to? The
Right?
newer person in the group, like, all right.
That's true.
Sounds
I
about
guess
I
this is
right.
what
guess
he's
he's
like.
always been a murderer.
Okay.
I just accept
Uh,
that he's a sociopath.
Okay, so
Whereas
if this
Chris is
isn't
like, he's a nice guy, but boy, he's real good at acting.
oh my goodness. There's a feather in Mary's beak there.
Yeah.
He
Tiny.
has clearly preened it out.
Yep. They are falling apart, these birds. It is molting time.
My
A big
goodness.
feather? Where's the big feather? Too scary.
Oh,
it's
no.
even better. Oh.
That's a
good
better feather because it's Meg's.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Oh, he picked it up.
Yeah.
He's armed.
He's got it in his little foot.
That's too much.
My goodness.
He's just a good boy.
This is too good. Look at this content, you guys.
Quality bird content.
Quality bird content. So Copernicus will just openly cast this spell and then say, well, if they say anything that's a lie, I'll know. I've cast my spell.
Look up straight on. What is your position in the Raven cult?
Before either of them says anything, Copernicus will pipe up and say, they're acolytes, but they are both working for a promotion.
What promotion?
Well, it sounds like they stand to get some power. At which point they, their little weasel faces blanch behind their fur, and particularly the one that's kind of like that was the
Scary
cockier one. Yeah, is going to start to stammer like a kind of, well, it's not like that.
I start to strike the tender.
He goes even paler, and just start. Actually, Copernicus will say, I think he's having trouble saying anything. That, and he points at the holy symbol. He says, that seems to be magical.
Huh.
Okay, can I remove it from him?
You can indeed. And when you do so, he slumps a bit in the webbing. And suddenly, like, babbles out a bunch of the things he was just trying to say. At this point, it's along lines of like, if I tell you anything, they'll kill me, and it's Toady, he's brutal. He's a tyrant. He'll bring me in front of Eliphas. They'll skin me alive. And this all comes out. This all comes out in like it was backed up, like he was going to say it and couldn't, and it just all tumbles out of his mouth.
Very well. I will remove the other ones. And I'm holding symbol as well.
He also slumps in the webbing in a bit of relief, and whines. I'll tell you everything, please. But you gotta get us. You gotta get us out of here. If we tell you anything, they'll know.
We'll get you out of the city. How about that?
Fucking hate tyrants.
Mm-hmm. I'll smack my hammer into my fist or my palm a couple more times.
Indeed.
Hey, real quick question, Lane. I know in previous editions you had the spell Consecrate. which you could also use as desecrate. Does that still exist in 5e?
Not exactly. They use the what the heck's the cantrip called? Like ritual or something like that.
Right.
There's a cleric cantrip that sort of does all of it. Where is it?
I think that's ritual because it does like the wedding ceremony and the coming of age ceremony.
Oh, sorry, it's not a cantrip. It's a first level
Yeah.
spell, I think. Ceremony. Yeah, it's just called ceremony. And it includes a sort of version of consecration.
It's not as flavorful.
Yeah, I don't think the actual consecrate spell. I'm just gonna look
Basically,
it
I
up.
wanted to desecrate these holy symbols in the name of Loth.
That seems cool.
I like that.
I'll allow it.
I would really cool that.
All right.
Morgan?
Well, I'll let the party question them.
Mm-hmm.
I will, in front of them, desecrate their holy symbols.
Cool.
Morgan feels bad, so she's gonna put on some gloves that she's had in her pocket and pat them and comfort them a little bit.
What kind of stuff did this toad do to you guys?
Just give me a quick sec. I'm
Yeah.
just taking a look at the old. Someone has done a conversion for consecration. I'm just taking a look at what it does. Yeah, sounds good to me. I'm gonna do a wisdom saving throw. All right, that's for creatures. Just maybe a d20 roll and add your spell attack bonus to it.
Okay, so what, a +5?
I think you got a higher than that. Let me check. Spell attack bonus for you is +7.
Okay. Oh, it's just being weird. At least it is on my end. I could be wrong. Roll 1. 20 plus 7. What do I get?
What'd you get?
I got a 15.
That's not bad. These aren't like super powerful magic items or anything. They're just got minor magic spells on them, basically. Yeah, they're still magical, but you sort of you do a desecration on them that like changes them from being revered of the Raven Queen. And you can kind of see when he does this spell, he hisses some like almost like abyssal kind of like spider speech, and there's like little purple tendrils of thread manifest with the words and spin little cocoons around the raven part of the symbol. So they look like little ravens that spiders have caught.
You know, you gotta be nice to your lady sometimes, you know?
Yep.
You gotta give her, like, gifts.
Indeed.
I would
So-
imagine that they have beef, those two.
Yeah, in the interest of time, you definitely are going to break these guys. So they have a bunch of information that they can give you. First of all, these weasels and others like them are among the members of the cult that have infiltrated the Quaggles, and they have been using the Quaggle network within the city to run messages for the Raven cult. And so they actually know quite a bit about the things that are happening currently. So Fetid will tell you guys about the conversation he overheard from Toad about a sorcerer named Graculus and some kind of magics that are being done and potential like imminent or upcoming like tonight attack on the city.
Oh heck.
Okay.
So I assume you want to question
off,
these
we need
guys
to
about
let-
some of this.
First thing we need to do is let the Grackle leaders know this is
Also-
going on.
Thanks for the raid. Welcome, Sharkies.
Raid. Shark raid.
Oh no, we've been raided.
Shark raid. Ooh ha ha.
We have a very thematic straw.
Raid. Welcome, raid.
Unintentional, but happy.
Welcome, raiders, to our trashy D&D stream. So, what do you want to ask these guys about first? And actually, my write out for Fetid here. He will bind these weaselkin hand and feet, and then he can drop the web spell, and he will immediately head off to go meet with his Quaggle buddies and warn them about this fact that there is a faction within the weasels in the sewers who are working for the Raven cult.
Before he goes, first question we should ask them: what Quaggles are involved?
Yeah. Is it just the weasels?
Other
Kind of
than there's
racist to ask, isn't it?
In the what
The weasels were sort of a different gang at one point that we amalgamated with the main Quaggles here. So it could be just that gang that's gone bad.
Just make
it
sure
is-
so like he's not going to tell the wrong person.
Yeah, it is a subset of the weasels. So basically, remember that the weasels were originally multi-factions, and it was one particular
Right.
faction that was won over to join the local Quaggles. So there are a handful of weasels that have infiltrated that faction. He gives you some names, but Toady is, of course, the leader of the Quaggles
Of course.
within the Raven cult.
Of course.
So Fetid will take that information and he will run off down the tunnel to go and pass it along. And that will be our write out for tonight for Jeff.
Do you know the names of any other leaders outside the Quaggles, like in the guard?
They will probably know. Generally, they take their notes to whoever they're supposed to take them to, and they don't know if that person is an actual. Oh no!
This is
I
for our
remember
raiders.
that character,
Happened?
the wrestling shark,
It's a shark cameo for our raiders who have
who
It's a
are
shark-themed
shark
night.
themed.
yeah. I was like, I have some shark pictures.
I didn't even see where our raiders came from. From Roll Forth.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. Okay. Yes. So they know. They will mention, of course, that they have had to run messages for Eliphas Darkmoor, who is, of course, as you already know, leader of the cult, and the sorcerer Gracchulus, who it turns out is a raven folk.
Maybe a grackle?
Sorcerer. Yeah, and they are they don't know a lot of details, but they know that Gracchulus is working some kind of powerful ritual out in the icy wastes. And there are agents within the city who help maintain the spell. So the most of the people that they run messages to are members of the Thieves Guild, and they will give you a few names, as well as members of the City Guard, and they will give you some names there as well. Oh, we just lost Randy, so I am suddenly Tromlin, and no one is the DM.
I'm sure it's just a Wi-Fi
All right, everybody,
hiccup.
no
There
one's
we
running
go.
the game now. Yeah,
Sorry.
That's right.
it's all good.
Yes.
Oh, temporarily you have been swapped with Morgan.
That's fine.
All satyrs look alike, huh?
Oh no!
Yeah,
No,
we know how it
it's
is. We
racist
know how it
against
is.
satyrs. Oh, why are
I
there
guess...
so many satyr phobes?
Do they know where the attack is going to start?
So they aren't really sure like what degree of attack this is. This seems like a normal raid, what they consider a raid.
Right.
So something that's been happening recently, but they do know that it's planned to occur at the market gate. So the city gate next to the marketplace, where you guys originally came in the first time you came to the city.
Gotcha.
Is that near where our party is this evening?
Nearish, yeah. You guys were in the market when you were
Right.
headed off to find this quaggle, these quaggle
But
buddies.
it's a raid, so the barbarians are coming and raiding, but there is a ritual that is gonna like power them up or something.
No, they'll tell the weasels will tell you that that ritual's been going on for quite some time. It's something that they have to coordinate with people to keep it going or something. So they will occasionally get packages to deliver. They don't know what's in them. They're allowed to look, but it's something related to the magic, and they take them to run them to members of the Thieves Guild to be distributed where they're supposed to go.
Interesting.
I'll text Copernicus to distribute to other people because I don't want to say it in front of them. But maybe that is how they're keeping hold of the city's lead lady.
Mm-hmm.
That could be the ritual. Could be about keeping that power ongoing.
Yes, the
Oh,
curse
maybe.
that is affecting
Yeah.
the Countess Nightshade.
Certainly seems like it's
Copernicus will
related to
pass that on.
whatever's going on in the north.
Yep.
With the ice barbarians.
Ah, not satyr satire. Oh my god.
Good.
Oh no,
I'm
I
like
missed it.
upset.
Very good.
I'm upset that I never came up with satyr satire. That's frustrating.
Is it satire? Hmm.
Oh no, come on.
Yes. Yes.
Awful.
There we go. Workshop. Got to workshop them jokes. Indeed. Okay. Any other questions you want to ask these captives?
Where the stronghold would be located. And if where the next meeting would be, possibly, of the
Yeah.
cult members.
And maybe who
They don't-
else is important within the cult? Like Toady level or higher.
Yeah.
Among the quaggles, that's just Toady.
Right.
They know that Toady has connections with Eliphas Darkmoor, the cult leader,
Yeah.
but they don't really know a lot else. The names that they give you amongst the Thieves Guild and the City Guard are the only names that they know particularly. There's no real stronghold, or at least they don't know of one where Graculus the sorcerer dwells, but they do know the spots where they meet with Graculus or his minions outside the city. So the tunnels, the sewerways under the city of Ravenfall connect to the surrounding lands. There are ways that the quaggles can come and go from the city without going through the gates. And that is how they go out to deliver messages or pick up messages from the sorcerer. And so they'll give you the location of a couple of the two main sites beyond the city walls where they meet with their contacts. One of those is a relatively deep vale or dell in the hills just to the north of the city. And another site is a bend in the ravine where the big stone bridge crosses that you guys crossed when you first came to Ravenfall. That one's a little further out, but sometimes when they meet with Graculus himself, that's where they do. And the nearby dell is where they have more sort of quick back and forth kind of meetings.
I would like to request a specific contact NPC. Could I request a farmer in the dell?
Good.
Maybe?
Good.
Yes.
as one of my social club members that hosts barn raisings.
Excellent.
It's one of those. They sent the
Yeah.
whole village pitches in.
Ooh, gotta raise that barn. No
Oh my
innuendo in
god,
this stream.
that's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
And the last thing, the last major thing that they'll tell you is that they have recently met with one of their contacts from the wilds in the Dell, and I will say that person maybe was a farmer. And when they met with the farmer in the Dell,
Farmer.
the message was passed on that there will be a raid
His name is Bob McDonald.
this evening. Yep.
Sorry, that's a very Canadian joke. I don't know anyone else will get it.
Yep. Excellent. Canadian
Sorry,
content.
That's our CanCon for today.
Yep. Oh no, you have no idea. That is not all of our CanCon for the day.
Oh, good.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
So, it is getting on towards afternoon now.
Okay. It sounds like
this
we have a
all-
scheduling thing because we gotta be at that party tonight, but there's gonna be an attack. So how can we be at a fancy party but also fighting the people who are gonna destroy the city?
It's maybe a timing question.
Do we hit the party and then go fight some dudes?
Can we leave booby traps?
Or have
maybe
someone-
just
Bennett
Yeah,
is particularly good at setting booby traps.
Morgan's
Like,
good
we
at booby
could-
traps, but for different reasons.
Hey, you can't call me a trap.
Heyo.
Disconnect.
Oh. We insulted Tromlin.
Good. We're
Perfectly timed to disconnect. I
He's like,
appreciate
"Oh,
Chrome
it.
is
I'm out."
pissing me off today.
That was
Chrome is-
excellently timed.
Our puns are too powerful. We
It
injected you from the
closed Chrome for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
internet.
Chrome was like, "I'm tapping out.
Oh, hell
I'm
no.
sorry."
Nope, I can't
I
handle
didn't
this.
for this shit.
But yeah. Could we? I don't know.
So
Like, if we prepare for said attack and delay them while also preparing defenses and folks to help us, then while we are partying / schmoozing and being like, hey, bad things happening, we need to gather forces. We got word that something might be happening today, and then things probably will happen, but we'll have enough set up ahead of time, and then we can just kick ass? Question
Maybe,
mark?
But, like, isn't Elephas gonna be at the party? So, like, he might be trying to pull something there. I
It
don't
might
know.
be a distraction.
Might be. Maybe it's just trying to
Or
keep us
two.
away from whatever's gonna happen to the city. Make sure everyone's looking at the big fancy people and not, like, all the quaggles.
Or it could be a 2-tier attack.
while you are discussing this, I'm going to ask the players to step away from the chat because I think it's time for a poll.
Poll time.
So it'll take me a second to set this up. So that'll give you time to step away. And I will let the audience know that once this poll begins, as usual, it will run for about 10 minutes. And there will be 1 vote per member of the chat, of course, no problems. But you also can vote multiple times using channel points and try and push your favorite thing to occur. And I think I'm good. Okay. The poll begins. Somebody in the chat want to let me know if the poll is live. Can y'all in the chat see the poll? It is live. Okay, let's see where this takes us. All right, carry on with your discussion, my players.
Cause yeah, we could like just not go to the party and then like go do some fighting and stuff. But like if Elephas is gonna be there, it's our one chance to get real close to him and like actually have a good reason to be there.
The other option is have someone at the gates who can alert us when something's going on, so we can get there as fast as we can.
Oh yeah.
Well, we could give someone my friend's phone, the other sending stone. One of your weasel or snotty friends, maybe.
Cause you got friends all over the city too, right, Morgan?
Yeah, all the way out to the Dell.
Huh. Maybe they can keep an eye out for us and let us know sort of what's going on out there.
Yeah.
I was thinking Perny, since he's actually not here.
Actually, Peter should be showing up pretty quick here. This is about
Oh,
when
okay,
he said
then
he
never
was
mind.
going to be here.
Hello, my little guys.
He said he'd be about an hour behind, so he should be here pretty quick.
Yeah. Little
Okay.
guys.
Little guys.
They're so
Those are the
perfectly
best.
camouflaged with my background. I don't know if anyone can see them.
Oh yeah, I can see the movement on your shoulder, just
Yeah, they
barely.
just look like leaves.
It's almost like this is their natural defense. I am going to roll a saving throw for the weasel that Copernicus is digging into the brain of,
Ooh.
and he fails. And Copernicus is going to go and try and dig for specific knowledge about this attack,
Ooh.
rather than waste time trying to like question these guys about it. And he tells you that it sounds to him like this attack is going to happen after midnight.
Okay, so we get there after midnight.
Yeah, so party first and then fight some guys. I can do that.
You'll have to fight in your party clothes.
Oh noes.
Keep them votes a coming, people.
I mean,
We're about a third
we
of the way
really
through the
should
poll.
be making all of our outfits tearaways. What do you think about it? For reasons, for different
oh yeah. So you
there are
can
multiple
put, like,
reasons.
So you can put your wrestling singlet underneath. Yeah, totally.
And
Yeah.
for basketball games, you gotta get called in the court.
Yeah, I got a couple outfits like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm.
So speaking of which, now that it's getting to afternoon, Morgan, your little sending stone lights up with a text from Lady Pudenza Direlust that just says, "Where are you?" Like text speak.
Getting things ready. Bracket, period, other bracket, bracket, period, other bracket.
Good.
What's up?
She will respond. Everything is set for tonight. Invitations are going out. We need to start getting you all ready.
Oh yeah.
And I'll remind you that Tromlin had an idea about trying to do something to placate the local pit fighters that you may want to accomplish sooner.
Yes.
So what's
My
the scoop?
resources are at your disposal.
Excellent. Then we should. We also need to get these weasels out of the city. That's for their own safety, because their lives are in danger now.
Oh yeah. Could we send them through that portal we came through? No, that's a different town. Maybe we could
Yeah,
put
that
them
was a
on a
different
ship.
city.
What if we put them on a ship? Maybe.
I will
Yeah,
ask
you could
weasels.
send them to the Loxodon ship.
Yeah.
If
I
you
asked the
gave a
weasels, how
message.
do you feel about going on a ship to get out of this town?
They nod vigorously.
We kind of
All
saved
right.
their ship from like an aboleth, so they kind of owe us one. So we could probably get you as a crew.
They are the key words in your phrase here being "get out of this town."
All right, I will do my best to try to disguise them real fast.
Yeah, you don't have to make me a roll.
Okay.
I'm happy to.
From weasels to
Let's
sea
take that
otters,
as-
no one will
Perfect.
know.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. You just put big whiskers on them and hand them, and you like tape some whiskers on them like a fake mustache, and then hand them some clams
You know
Yeah.
what
to
might work
clutch to
even?
their chest, and
You know what
take
might
the
work?
black robes off of them. That's kind of a giveaway.
I think I know what might help. And Morgan will pull out like sexy bunny girl Playboy costume and like toss aside the bodysuit and hand one of them the ears.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
That should
Right.
work.
So as we leave, we will take them straight to the pier to get them on the Loxodon ship and out of the town.
Sounds good.
And then off to the fighters to try to get things calmed down.
Yep.
So my biggest question there: are you taking Ugna?
I'm gonna hide.
Um, I will have Una nearby. Maybe not as or.
Yeah, they really won't want to see me around anymore. Like I was bad the first time I went there. But
Yeah.
I could like hide nearby, I guess. The Perny can
I
tell me
will
if you need
say-
me.
I will say that Lady Pudenza is waiting to do fittings for Ugna.
Mm.
Oh yeah, you can
All
drop
right,
me
then.
off there.
Fine. Oh, that's fine. I will go and I'm going to tell Morgan I'm going to act as a party representative. Let your people know I am renegotiating a contract to get payments for the local fighters. I'll write everything down. I'll present it to them so we have it prepared for tomorrow. But it just will make life easier for everyone. Also, hopefully, prevent some of these gladiators from causing problems tomorrow.
Trust you to get that sorted. You want to take some food or drink, maybe, to help smooth things over along the way? Maybe pick something up.
I can bring you something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd help. They love to eat, and you're good at that.
All right. I will. I guess I can also bring Perny just as in case.
Sure.
And so we'll just go drop off these two otters, and then we'll head
Perfectly
over.
normal.
A bunny and an otter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Totally not two
Excellent.
ratkin or weaselkin. That's fine. Very different.
Sure. Yeah, you can easily, you know, contact the ship captain. Hail up when you get to the ship, and you'll recall that Captain Asg owes you, quite a bit in terms of favors. So when you call up and say, hey, we got a couple of rodentkin that need a weaselkin that need
Quick
to
exit
join your
town.
crew to the next town. And
No
he,
questions asked.
yep,
Get 'em
no
out.
questions asked. You saved my ship.
Yep. was a pleasure. Turn to the Weaselkin. Do not leave this ship for any reason until you get to the next town.
They nod fearfully, and make their way onto the ship in
Alright.
their ludicrous costumes.
Good.
Okay, and I'm going to actually try to do a quick check to see if there's anyone paying attention who should not be paying attention to this.
Smart.
Well, so right now, or sorry, when you get to the ship,
Yeah.
make me a perception or investigation check, whichever you prefer.
I usually go with perception because it is my better one.
Indeed. Oh, excellent. So we had a relative last second tight race there, and the poll has ended. Thank you very much for your votes, audience, and players. You may now resume
Safe.
the chat. Okay.
I got a 19 for perception.
You don't notice. You notice a couple things. You notice a thieves guild spy, like the usual sort of typical general sort of spy that they would use. Younger person, sort of lurking at the edges of the dockyards, who's keeping an eye on the ships in general. What you assume from your more recent adventures that they're there watching your ship specifically.
Gotcha.
But you've done a pretty good job of disguising this pair of weaselkin, so you don't know that they would be specifically recognized. You don't see any sign of the red-eyed raven that was watching when you first came to the city.
Works for me.
That's good.
All right, I'll gather Perny and we'll head over to the gladiatorial arena.
Okay.
And Morgan and I are going for a makeover.
Makeover, 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 makeover.
Montage.
While we're still waiting for Peter, do you guys want to start doing that component
Sure.
of things?
Yep.
You want to play up a bit of that situation? Preparation
I'll
for the
be
big
right
party.
back. I'm gonna get something for my head because I have a headache. So I'll be right back.
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
So it probably would not be hard to actually make your outfit tear away. I think we should make sure that happens
Okay.
in whatever you wear tonight.
Yeah, I can put my my singlet on underneath, I guess, because then we can fighting that all the time.
And even just for fun and for show at the event, you could maybe do a demonstration and tear it off. I think people would love that.
Okay. Yeah.
So one of my questions is, are you going to try and make sure that your opponent is also at this event? Or are you just,
Probably should,
or is
because
this
that's
just...
the whole thing? Yeah, like it's not just the Ugna party. It's
Oh yeah.
Kangar. We need Kangar here and fancied up.
Maybe we should even see if he wants to coordinate outfits, because we could
Yes.
dress him up too.
We probably got a hold of him and were like, show up at this time, and so now you've got both of these
Sure.
awkward wrestlers to wrangle.
Sure.
imagine-
Lady Pudenza has extensive wardrobe options.
I imagine that this Loxodon probably dresses pretty well normally.
Oh, for sure.
He's at least
For
got
sure.
4 gold chains on at all times.
Yeah, I'll remind you that he always goes shirtless.
Yep, that's his thing.
And he's basically got the Rock's body, but with an elephant's head.
Sure. Hold on.
So
Oh,
he
yeah,
he
where's
wears.
our pictures?
Yeah, do we have drawings of him? I don't remember.
Fine, Kangar.
I have backgrounds that include him. Let me just pull that up.
Your Photoshop background is better than the drawing.
The Rock Tofant.
All right.
Otherwise, he wears relatively expensive sort of loose pantaloons in the style of the southern jungles, so very loose and breathable. He wears big shoes that have kind of pointy toes that curl up at the ends, and then he has cross belts across his chest.
Oh,
You found what you were looking for?
Ooh, you switch
I'm
sides.
seeing if I can. Oh yeah, this is how I do my green screen or
Nice.
not green screen background. The text. Oh, it doesn't like that.
Oh, the light.
Oh, and it's not even. It's like a costume that I did. Oh, you'll probably remember that one. My Raven costume.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's the wrong image.
Were you looking for something to post here, Alina, or?
Yeah, it was just Raven was gonna have it behind.
You can kind of see it. Oh no.
Nah.
You can
Oh,
see
well.
his crotch in the very corner, but that's about
The
it.
important part.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kangar will show up at your appointed location, which is the safe house of the sex cult.
Good.
And when you guys get there, Lady Pudenza is like pacing around and tapping her foot and waiting for you. And as soon as you show up, she is, there you are, darlings. It is time. We have only maybe 5-6 hours. We have to get the moving.
How much
Chop,
clothes are we
chop.
wearing? That's lots of time, right? Ugna says, having just come out of the sewers.
Saying a bath time montage, a la yeah, just
We
a la
gotta
Mulan,
put-
like bath time montage.
Just with that hard scrubbing to like scrub out all the filth.
There is probably a granny that does like the bathing
Mm-hmm.
for
And the
sure.
massage, she gets those like really good little knuckle bones in there.
Hmm.
So
But today it's
just
all
for the
about the
chat, since somebody mentioned it, I'll re-describe the Lady Pudenza, who is a 6.5+ foot tall dominatrix tiefling lady in basically all leather, all black leather.
Hmm. The best.
And yeah, she's got like, she'll like go near a wall and push like a secret compartment switch, and like wardrobes of clothing will spring out like it's the Matrix, you know, like clothes, lots of clothes. And like a lot of it has like not a lot of substance to it. There's an awful lot of open spaces where you wouldn't expect them. And a lot of things is like black leather, studs and spikes, buckles, chains.
Looks exactly like my wrestling wardrobe, but like there's
Yeah. Oh,
there'd be
except
more cloth.
far sexier.
Yes.
Like it's like your
Yeah.
wrestling wardrobe, if your wrestling wardrobe couldn't possibly be expected to contain
the
you,
wrestler.
or at least certain parts of you.
Mm.
Great. So yeah, Kangar and I are shoved unceremoniously out of the baths, now freshened
Yep.
and perfumed, I'm sure. Smelling far better than we ever have.
Oh, I heard someone.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
I do believe
Hey, Peter.
we have a Peter.
Hey.
Copernicus is just in
Welcome.
time for the makeover session.
Makeover.
He is unfortunately being a good grandpa and accompanying his grandson. So
But I'm sure that won't take very long.
No.
Yeah.
Have you got the cameras sorted?
I gotta just adjust them real quick here.
Maybe while you're doing that, I'll switch
Yeah.
cameras, and we'll switch from the makeover back to Copernicus and Tromlin. So Copernicus, all you really missed was they questioned the Weaselkin with the aid of your detect thoughts, and found out that there is planned ice barbarian raid tonight after midnight. So everyone's basically planning to dress nicely for the big soiree, but be ready for tearaway fight times as necessary.
Is the raid on the city of
Is Peter
Ravenfall
there?
or just on our
I don't hear him.
On the city, but on the market gate specifically.
Hold on, I'm reloading.
I can hear Peter, but
Also, I love the terrifying shadow with laser eyes that you're using for my
Yes.
stand-in for the overlay. Beautiful.
I eventually want an away message that's custom for everybody. But right now, just you and Fetid have them.
There's a Peter. Okay.
I'm still
Oh,
very
you can hear it?
amused that Fetid.
Do we tell we should tell him also about how we got this information? Because I'm pretty sure Perny would be concerned.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. While
Yeah.
these Weaselkin were webbed up with Fetid's web spell and feeling a little resistant, Tromlin went over and poured lamp oil on them and basically said, every lie I'm going to try a strike on my flint and steel, and eventually you will burn.
Which that's
Terrifying.
an intense. That's
Works
an
really
intense
well.
For,
Yep. Yeah, between all of the intimidation rolls and Copernicus reading their thoughts, we didn't really role play that out. I just went, you get all the information.
Oh, Peter behind you.
Oh, thank you.
A mysterious hand.
You also missed my imitation of Perny.
Oh, it was so
very
good.
I will have to catch the replay. I will definitely have to catch the replay.
Oh yeah.
I can just redo it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I used to do
Oh,
a
buddy.
move called, was it
You
the
fell off.
Rusty Bard? You know, when they're decaying, every cavity is an option.
So bad.
It's not
I love
great,
it, I hate
Perny,
it.
but there you go.
No, that is perfect. That is perfect and very. Yeah, I think you could pull that dialogue from any of his stray thoughts that he's had, or his like random old man rambling stories.
So Tromlin, you were going to get some to prep some food gifts to
Yeah.
bring to the wrestling or to the pit fighters dormitories.
Yes.
I assume you're throwing something together with your,
I am
your
going
vast
to
culinary skills.
basically go and spend some coin. These are fighters. I have been around fighters most of my life, so I know not to bring frou-frou nonsense. I'm going to see if I can go find anyone who has an already cooked spit pig
For sure.
and alcohol,
Alcohol's always a good one.
and bring that with me to meet with the fighters.
Alina, I always love it when I can always tell when the hobbits are down on your desk because they get closer to the microphone. And I
Just
can hear
more
the
and more
squeaking.
Yeah.
Yep.
More and more little squeaks.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. I'm gonna make a roll for sort of what you can procure with relative ease. Well, that's pretty good. I rolled an 18. Sure, yeah, you can
Alright.
find pretty much exactly what you want. You find like you find a pig on that's on like a whole pig that's going on spit, and like you can kind of get there at the end to be like, let me just finish this with a little of my own seasonings
And
from
I
your
just pay
magic
for that
pouch.
outright.
Yep.
I'm gonna have that brought with me, and buy a couple of large barrels of whiskey.
Yep.
And
You find some good
Ernie,
stuff.
let us go try to smooth things over with the local fighters.
Perny can pull his unseen servants together to carry all that for you.
Have you been warned that Basilisk is a high-ranking member of the cult?
I believe it was mentioned.
Okay, good. I think not while Ugna was there.
Yes.
I don't think I know that.
I think I could be wrong, but I think Fetid brought it
Yes.
Yeah,
Fetid
right.
Fetid reported to you guys while Ugna was blubbering.
Right.
Ugna was there, but I just don't know that it
I
registered.
don't think it registered.
up. Yeah. And we approach the pitmaster and say we are representatives of. Did we ever create a company name for the promotion that's putting the matches on tomorrow?
There is
No.
one. There is one, but I don't know if you're aware of it because Lady Direless set this up.
Oh, right.
Mm.
Oh, hold on. So we're doing big, large-scale events in like a public arena. So the name of our company should be something like, I don't know, Stadium Arcadium. Would that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Good. Yes. Correct.
Perfection.
I will go to the pitmaster and say I am here as a representative of the lady for tomorrow's fights. One of the fighters, Ugna, has informed me that apparently not all the paperwork went through, and your fighters were not signed up for the event, and we would like to fix that.
The pitmaster is just like Mud Hollow. It's a dwarf.
Yeah, of course.
This particular dwarf is a somewhat cadaverous looking dwarf with like hanging jowls and jet black hair, and he's
man.
wearing almost like a little suit.
Does he do a little strut when he walks in the room
He does a little bit of a strut, and
to ask him about steroids?
he says his name is Paul.
Hey, man.
Paul Barrar.
See, I thought it was like Paul Heyman was a parody. Okay, never mind.
Oh no, I was going for Paul Bearer, but you know.
Oh,
good.
I don't know enough post '80s wrestling managers.
So first off, Paul Heyman ran ECW. He's a scumbag, and he works for WWE now. But fun fact about Paul Bearer, his real name is Percy Pringle. He played like the evil rich man manager in WCCW in the early '80s.
Ooh.
But he partly got the job of Paul Bearer because he was an actual licensed mortician.
Yep.
Good.
I knew that. Actually, what if we go with Jimmy Hart? I'll make him. Then I can. So he'll be a little dwarf with like the big dwarf beard, but it's been cut into the big mutton chops with the bare chin.
He's got rhinestones all over his shirt.
Yeah, he's wearing a
rhinestone in to get people's attention.
Yeah, because he's a small dwarf. He's got to make sure everyone can hear him. So, and he's wearing a cowboy hat with like a raccoon tail on it, like just full on, and rhinestones.
Good.
He says, "Well, I don't rightly know, partner, what you know about this fight, but none of my fighters been approached at all about it."
And that's the mistake I wish to correct. They should have all been approached. However, you're a businessman. You understand the situation. This is an angle. Just imagine it. You have outsiders using your hall without anyone there, and then your people come in as an invasion angle to defend the home territory from these invaders and remind everyone who the hometown heroes are.
Well, we're just talking about the same fight here. Or are we going to set up some kind of a preliminary bout?
Remember, all cards are subject to change. So people are going to get a card they didn't expect. It's a surprise. It's a switch on the audience to make them feel like they're getting way more than their money's worth.
Why don't you roll me a persuasion here? This sounds like you've got a pretty good angle.
Right.
And to what degree are you like doing anything further to grease palms other than bringing the food?
I will like occasionally put some coins down as needed.
I'll add
you
my
did bring
Werther's
Copernicus.
originals to that pile. Sweeten the deal.
Your general purse contents that are like a mixture of like extremely valuable gold coins and completely worthless candies and trinkets.
Worthless? What are you talking about?
There were theirs,
Also, yeah.
Zane. There were
Is
theirs.
it?
They're not worthless.
Now wait, does the bribery let me roll with advantage?
Yes, that's why I was asking.
Nice.
Okay, so then my first roll's a 22.
Just like in
Sweet.
real life, bribery lets you roll with advantage.
Oh.
It does. My second roll's a 29.
Well,
Well, that'll do it.
I rolled for him, and I rolled what looked like a 19, but it was kind of cocked, and I was like, and maybe I'll re-roll it and just say he's got disadvantage. And then I rolled a 1. So I don't know what his bonus is, but whatever it is,
Not
like
enough.
his eyes turn to dollar signs as you continue talking.
I basically start laying out an angle where at the first match starts normally, and then his fighters come in and yell, "This is not happening. This is our home turf, and we will not be disrespected."
So you
And
also get the impression fairly quickly when he starts talking about preliminary matches that his people probably get like there's probably a payment based on like the number of fights and so forth, and you immediately latch onto that angle and sort of like, yeah, of course we'll have a bunch of exhibition matches leading up to the big tent pole, and then we'll also have your people like do this run in, and that means like they'll get paid twice, and you basically latch on to the angles of what he's putting down and feed him exactly what he wants to hear, and you see his eyes turn into dollar signs and like other dollar signs float around his head. And
it takes Perny a moment to realize that this man has not listened into his and Barb's bedroom talk, and that the big tent pole means something else. But then he clocks it. Right, of course.
Yeah,
also, we present all the food and alcohol to the fighters.
excellent. And you're as I recall, you're playing up that this is like coming from Ugna, or that it's related to Ugna.
I'm going to play up that Una alerted us that we failed and insulted the hometown heroes, and was very adamant upon threat of violence that we fix the situation, and also strong-armed us into making sure that everyone was fed as an apology.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
I will, if I have to, well, first off, how is Basilisk reacting to all of this?
So as soon as you started talking to the mouth of the north, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good dwarf version of Jimmy. I'll come up with something, but his last name will definitely be Hart. As soon as you start talking to
What
the
about
manager,
Jemmy? And it's
Jimmy.
Just,
Nice.
Loves those gemstones.
yeah, hey, that's just a dwarf stereotype.
It's accurate right here, but it's still stereotype.
Yeah, that's just a stereotype. Please do grease my palm. Yeah, as soon as you came up and started having this conversation, a lot of the pit fighters kind of were like, "Ooh," because food and like the smell of the roasted pig, and like there was a lot of attention. But then as soon as as the conversation kind of like makes its way back, then you mention Ugna and that this is about the fight and stuff, Basilisk storms out. So you don't see Basilisk's response because she hasn't gotten like the news yet. But you quickly turn Jemmy around to your way of thinking, and he immediately starts talking like plans for, like he starts immediately going, okay, we only got a day to make sure this is ready. Then, and he just starts barking, like he pulls out his shouting cone and starts barking some orders at and like setting. He's like, you, Brachus, you're going to be taking on, Guyon the Thunderer, and you guys, we got to make sure that this is ready. And hey, get those weapons polished. And
while he's doing this, I'm going to slip out and approach Basilisk.
Can I quickly, before you do that, Tromlin, just send you a little sending message? Just that, yeah, like whatever the fight pairings are going to be, we should make sure that there's some kind of guardrail in case Basilisk goes full tilt on Ugna. Yeah, we should know who Ugna's squaring off with, and just if they intend to do murder, we should know that in advance. But otherwise, I'll just take notes on everything that he's saying so that we have a copy for our records of who's squaring off with who.
I will bring this up with Jimmy before I vanish to go find Basilisk. I understand that there starts some hard feelings. Obviously, we want this to be a good fight, but a fight people want to come back from, not are horrified by.
He's like, don't you worry about my people. I'm some of the best in the business.
Oh, I know. That's why we wanted to come to this town and work with them. And again, I'm very sorry. It's the problem when you outsource. Alas, sometimes things get lost in translation.
They call it
Well,
paperwork, but they should call it paper doesn't always work.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, fuck.
Jimmy will say, in my head, it's like Jimmy,
Jimmy.
but I don't know why. Like Timmy from
It's
South Park. But anyway,
Jimmy.
I don't know why. But he says, well, I'm damn glad that this was just an oversight, because this timing on this here bout couldn't been better. There's so many folk in town for the various reasons and some political due. It's going to be quite the thing. We tried
Yeah.
to set something up and just couldn't get nobody to come into town to set up a match. So
Well, I guarantee
I'm damn glad we
tomorrow-
cleared up this misunderstanding.
Like I
And if
said,
nothing-
tomorrow, if you get a chance, thank Ugna. And I say that to the other fighters. She is the one who brought the error to our attention violently.
Well, I definitely appreciate it.
I'm going to
You
go
tell
look
her
for
Jim I said so.
I will. I'm going to go look for Basilisk now.
But by violently, you mean I blubbered a lot at you.
You know what? They don't need
The
to know
ultimate
that
violence.
fucking
No,
part.
it's fine. No, you're doing a great job.
Emotional
as my PR agent.
violence.
I love it.
Yeah, you go looking for Basilisk, and you head off into through the big tunnels that lead into the actual pit area, and find her like shadow sparring on a series of platforms and other things. She's jumping around. So they got like those pillars like for practicing Wing Chun with all the little poles on them. And she's like jumping around, except she's like slashing them clean off with her like blade claws. And
The whole installation guy's like, I just put those up.
Ah,
it's
jeez.
like, God, it's like big scratching posts for her. She's just
Yeah.
like,
I clear my throat. Miss Basilisk, may I have a word with you?
what do you want?
I want to clear up something. Just so you understand, Ugna was the one who made us aware that we fucked up. She was adamant from the start you be a part of this. That's why she was so horrified yesterday, because she realized people she depended on failed her, and that meant she felt she failed you.
This is very heartfelt. You can see conflicting emotions on her face. Roll me a persuasion on this one. Let's see how.
That's a dirty 20, but I will spend a hero point.
Ooh.
Oh my!
Because
Oh my.
that is something he would do
Oh
because it's
my.
around Ugna.
Okay, I will accept. I'm gonna. Okay, the roll goes away.
Boom. Spent.
I will sit
So
her down
you-
and explain the situation, that this whole thing was because a lot of sailors died in a horrible accident. We did our best to save as many as we could. We were just trying to help their families, to make sure their families are taken care of. That was Ugna's plan. Ugna's plan from the beginning was Basilisk and her people would be a part of this. She was genuinely horrified to learn you were involved. She feels shamed, even though, again, it was not her mistake. It was miscommunication between multiple parties, including a group of people who've never set a fight up before. And you've been through this. You know how it goes when new people think they know a business they've never even set up an arena. And I'm sure like Trellman as a kid helped some. So he starts talking about having to put the ropes up, having to clean the blood out of the pits. Going like these people have never done it. They throw parties.
So you're aware pretty quickly that you touch the right string, and you see some like welling up as you talk. Like below the eyes, the jaw is set. I won't. I'm proud, and I don't want to hear you people coming in here. But from here up, you know that you've gotten through, and she'll kind of gruffly say that. Well, I'm glad that you came to your senses, and kind of like try to and brush you off and
Of course.
go back to her training. But yeah, you can tell that you had a significant impact.
Very well. Please enjoy some of the food and drink I brought. Again, Ugna demanded that be sent as an apology, and don't forget to talk to Jimmy. I'm sure he'll happily tell you what your bout's going to be. I assume it would be main event. It would be embarrassing on his end if he put you anywhere else.
Excellent.
And again, Ugna sends her regards and apologizes.
So with that, I'm going to cut back over to the makeover in progress, which Tromblin and Copernicus will then enter. Yeah, Direlust immediately is attempting to dress Ugna in some, let's just say, something you would not ever expect to see Ugna in.
No.
So
No.
we're talking like some frickin' imagine Lady Demescu. That's the character's name, right?
Yeah.
From the video game. But at the Met Gala. Yeah. But like but meets Met Gala.
Right.
With a strong flavoring of dominatrix on top.
I mean,
so basically
had a pretty strong flavoring of dominatrix.
Yeah.
So she's putting like Ugna in basically like a skin tight like above the knee pencil dress, like pure black vinyl.
There's also like, I'm sure,
with
just like
buckles all the way down.
Creaking corsetry to lift everything up. And I am, it's...
Oh yeah.
Ugna has never breasted this boobily before.
There's several points in the scene where Ugna is kind of trying to look at herself in the mirror, and Morgan and Pudenza have to keep ducking and like dodging as the rack just swings back and forth.
I'm intruding on this to say I would not dodge the booba.
I mean, it's like
I'll take it on full force. I'll take bashing. Yeah. I'll take bashing damage. I don't care.
There'll be several comedy beats where you're like, you look fantastic, and Ugna will spin around her. You think so? And then you'll just like head over heels, like outside of frame.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Heels because of Ugna? I don't know what you're talking about.
Like full on cartwheels.
Ugna's like, are we sure this isn't too much? Is this all right? Feels a little, I don't know, airy.
I think it's good.
Okay. Good. Cool. All right.
He keeps casting mending on it because you keep like flexing and like bits fly off.
Yeah. That's how the tearaway is gonna work. I'm just gonna actually flex. Just a whole lot of this dress.
An argument ensues about these thigh-high spiked heel boots versus you not wanting to give up your magic boots.
Yep.
And that is the point at which Tromblin and Copernicus walk in.
You just have to design around the boots, I yell out.
But can't you put like some kind of illusion on them or something? I don't know. Also,
Actually,
the crown stays. The crown stays. That doesn't go anywhere.
Wait. Do I have any illusionary spells that would work? I have prestidigitation, don't I?
I mean, yeah, but also you have like the physical disguisery type of skills to like.
I will boot cover.
To make
sexy boot cover.
Actually, I mean, you could make a really good-looking kick pad.
Like mud splatter guard things. They have like a specific name. They're always over Victorian shoes. They're like little coats. Yeah, spats. Little spats for Yeah, but
Yep.
those will have like spikes on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will help, and as we're doing this, I tell Ugna what we just did, how we
Aw.
calmed things
Oh.
over.
Oh, great. Oh, I'm so glad. I was really worried about things. And like, I will grab you and give you a big ol' hug, Trumlin. You may not be seen for a moment.
Tromlin suddenly has really conflicted feelings that he's never really had before. But clear just says, "Look, you're the only family I have for most of my life. I'm gonna take care of you, okay?"
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I can't cry. I got all kinds of stuff on me.
But just remember, tomorrow, she's still your opponent.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not the first time we fought.
And,
I still haven't beat her yet, though.
actually, can I have a moment alone with Ugna, everyone? I'm sorry.
Oh, of course. I obviously need to change my outfit. I've been to parties like this before. I didn't know it was going to be one of those. Not since Barb's time, but Perny waddles off to go
Yeah.
find a leather daddy outfit.
Oh, there's the this room is festooned by this point with racks upon racks of like wardrobe of the cult of blood sugar sex magic. Like, in fact, I was gonna say, if you're crafting any kind of like boot covers for Ugna's like warriors armored greave type boots, you're just going to basically turn it into a full rave outfit, right? It's going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
giant spiky boots all covered in black pleather that go with the waist
Pleather
up
pencil skirt.
sexy dominatrix dress.
Yeah.
Y'all's, we've got so many different outfit options, and there's just like one really tall rack of outfits, and there's one rack of outfits that are satyr sized, so stuff that could be interchangeably
Good.
Morgans or Tromlins, and then like one very short rack.
For me and Fetid.
Yes.
All the short stacks.
And it's just so you can easily like, we could save space and just like combine them all into one, but
So we're
Yeah.
just nearing break time.
Yeah.
So I want to do a couple things here. So first of all, I'm going to quickly do this Tromlin takes
conversation.
Ugna aside. So let's do that first. And then what I'll do afterwards is we're going to jump to the party in situ
Oh yeah.
and describe the fits.
Our outfits. Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And then we'll set up that scene and then we'll go to break.
All right.
Also, I finished my trash day picture,
Excellent.
so
It's
we
really
can
good.
put that up.
We'll show that after break.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so Tromlin takes Ugna aside.
Look, yesterday, earlier when you were there, Fetid noticed something about Basilisk you need to know about, okay?
Yeah.
She had a Raven Cult tattoo.
Does that?
It
Does that
doesn't
mean that
necessarily
she's-
mean she's a bad person or she's evil. There are people who join these movements because, well, it benefits them. You know, it's a way to advance, and they may not understand how fully corrupt something is. But you need to know that, okay?
Because they're
I'm not
gonna
saying
attack the city tonight, right? So like maybe she doesn't know about that?
she might not know about it at all.
Huh. Because like why
But-
would she attack her own city? This is where her pit is. It'd be like me leading barbarians against Mud Hollow. Just doesn't make any sense.
Well, remember, the lady of the city can't force herself to care because of magic. Those two Weaselkin couldn't talk because of enchantments. It's not impossible, depending what the tattoo's like. We may need to be concerned for her own safety. But either way, it could mean absolutely nothing. But you're my friend, and I'm not going to hide information from you, okay?
Yeah. Thanks, Tromlin.
I'm not
just-
saying you shouldn't have feelings for her. I'm not saying they don't matter. I'm not saying she doesn't have feelings for you. I have no idea. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know if that she does. She was
Well,
really, yeah.
she's
But
not
I'm,
as upset now, for what it's worth. I made sure that everyone there knew you were the reason things were getting fixed.
oh, thanks, buddy. And I give you another like hug. I'll then set you down and like
Wow,
smooth
that
down your
was I Trauma is just trying not to say something really inappropriate at this point.
hair.
Like he's
You-
never had to fight that urge with
Mhm.
Ugna, so there's a lot of
No.
conflicted feelings
No,
right now.
Ugna's always like usually got like the sports bra situation and then armor over top sort of thing. So like occasionally when we went to the club, but definitely not to this extent.
This
Yeah.
is like corseted up so that with
Yeah.
the hug is very nearly suffocating.
This might be the first time
like
like Ugna has
spilling
ever
over.
seen Tromlin blush.
Oh no.
That is a good point.
Good.
We've steered
For us
so
to
far.
fade and move in time to the beginning of the grand soiree. So we enter with a camera sweep through the grand ballroom of the Citadel of Ravenfall itself, where you guys have been just recently, the other night, just passing through to go and have your audience with the Countess. And within the great hall, of course, are assembled all of the important figures of Ravenfall, with the very glaring exception of the Countess herself, who is absent. But when the group of you arrive, along with Kangar the Strangler and the Loxodon contingent, you see this sea of important people. Some of you may be a little intimidated. Some of you may be a little less so. But one thing that's going to strike you in particular are the familiar faces, because there are a number of familiar faces in the crowd. Some you've only seen from afar, such as the Baron Gregory Langarian, who is here, along with his cousin Phoenix Langarian, who is an almost elven-looking lady, except for her ears, with very close cropped blonde hair, who's constantly at his elbow and whispering in his ear. You'll also recognize a number of other faces, one of whom is the standing next to the Baron Padrick Scully, who is the Baron of Aldercove. He has members of his family with him. Specifically, he has his son Robin Scully with him, who you once sold into slavery on a dragonborn slave ship.
What? I don't know what
You-
you're talking about.
Guys,
Just
lucky I don't know about that. I'd be doing the shame, double shame.
Oh
I
no,
think-
we told
I
you
think-
about it.
I
We
think
told
we
you
did
why
tell you about
too.
I
that.
think we did.
He did violence of a very despicable nature that we.
He was hurting sex workers. He had to
It
go.
was an in retaliation. You
Yeah.
also recognize the sheriff,
Oh.
the sheriff Coldrain of Mud Hollow,
Oh no.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
who is there as a personal guard to the beardless dwarf in a white suit with a white cowboy hat, Boss Haug of Mud Hollow, who is in fact Fetid's nemesis. Tromlin, you recognize from descriptions and from seeing them from afar in the past, two of your siblings, Lobelia and Lothric Boltree, who are standing over by the food tables. And all of you, well, except for Morgan, will recognize among a delegation of tabaxi from the south, the Don Garveldo de Lasagna.
Garfeldo.
Don
I'm
At
Garveldo
least
picture
is
of that
someone
guy.
we're in good terms with.
resplendent in a pale blue
he's-
velvet
Great term for this guy.
outfit with sash around his ample belly and a huge plumed hat. And his servant,
Oh my god.
Servant
I only haven't seen Don
Odinardo,
Garfeldo.
Don Garveldo de Lasagna.
I will also pull up.
Indeed. Oh, did you already pull up Don Garveldo?
Yes.
I missed it. That's okay.
I just left
and
someone in the
giggles.
chat apparently a while back said Tromlin just got levels in wingman class.
Indeed. Indeed. And
think-
recognized only Copernicus is a strapping, burly, large gentleman who would tower over Copernicus by several feet, but shares a number of his facial features and is wearing an enormous fancy brocade coat with various steampunk doodads and gizmos built into his outfit, mostly around his waist and his belt, and a huge tricorn hat with a plume, and a gigantic, like meerschaum looking pipe with a cap. And Copernicus, this is your cousin Darius Sunshine, who is a famed sea captain.
I just was looking at him in the campaign notes, and I was gonna see if before the party I could scramble whatever my local relative is for additional support if there's a raid on this. A heads up.
I'm happy to say you sent you sent a note to your other cousin.
Okay.
And his monk school.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make him a heads up. Maybe an attack on the city from a prominent and rising cult. Be on guard. I will be at this location and watching, but be careful. And if you can bring forces, bring forces. Something like that. Okay, Captain Darius.
And then by description only, you recognize a man who has quite the crowd around him, discussing various matters of import. Lots of wealthy merchants, but I would say Copernicus for sure, and probably Tromlin, but maybe not the others, would recognize. Well, actually, no. Morgan will definitely recognize him because you've lived in Ravenfall long enough. None other than Eliphas Darkmoor.
Oh, hell.
The leader of the Raven cult.
Oh.
This bitch.
And then I'll get you all to describe your fits.
Or do we want to think about
as
them
well?
for break, or do we all know what we're wearing?
I think I know
Are
what
we
I'm
all
wearing.
good? All right.
I wouldn't mind.
I can wait till the break if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that after break.
Okay.
We will have our grand entrance.
I might be
after
stirring some
break.
shit.
Uh-huh. Let him
I'm
cook.
kind
Let
of
him cook.
expecting a
He's
fair
got-
amount of shit to be stirred.
That's what this whole party is about.
But as you are beginning to sort of make your way in and turn heads and mingle, there is another entrance being made, and I'm just double checking. I might have to wait on this one.
Ooh.
So as you all enter and you sort of also, by the way, I would say that Sir Godfrey would be here since he is in town with his marketplace, and he is a merchant of some standing. Also, I forgot one. Tromlin, you will recognize some of the elves who are present. There is a contingent of elves here, and you recognize one of them as the elven ambassador who. Well, that was a cool little angle of flight there in the camera.
They fell off. Hey, Mary. Come on, bud. It's okay.
You recognize the elven ambassador who was on the ship that you stole your elven cloak from some time ago.
Great. Cool.
Which I'm not really wearing because it would be weird at a party. I'm sure I have it on me to pull out. Wait, I can disguise it though, can't I? Because I have.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. To what
Yeah.
degree are you guys looking like yourselves? I
'Cause
mean,
there's no reason
Ugna's kind
for-
of
I have to
Yeah.
be me, but Tromlin definitely does not have to be Tromlin.
you
That
all
doesn't mean Tromlin
knew.
doesn't want to be.
You also, yeah. I mean, it's up to you guys.
That's why I was
You
like, maybe we
did
need
know.
the break to think about this because we're gonna start some shit.
So do you? What I might do is anyone who knows for sure what they want their fit to be could do a description now.
I think we want to do it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
let's
so.
do it all
Let's
together.
just do it all together after break.
Okay.
All together now.
All together now. All together now. All together now.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
And I'm kind of assuming that we're all going as ourselves because at this point I feel like we're so heavily implicated that what
If it's
what is there
like
left to hide?
All of us
Like, we've-
except for Tromlin, but there's another guy with us. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a
we've-
weird
we've-
thing at that point.
We've pulled down the pants and spanked the butts of a number of members of the Assassin's Guild and
mean,
of the Raven Cult.
Haven't
That's what
we
this
all?
party's about. Yeah.
I've spanked so many butts.
Mostly
Yeah.
consensual. Well, I
All
mean, there's not like
consensual.
a warrant out for me or anything, is there?
Isn't there?
there's assassins.
Yeah, but it's not like there's no one has any legal stuff on you.
Yeah.
They just have a lot of
Also,
money.
The
Yeah.
nobles try to assassinate each other all the time, and they don't do it at parties, so.
That's a faux pas.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Party
is.
foul.
Ooh, no.
Oh, that's beautiful. Dealt with so many buns, they should be bakers. One of us is, to be fair.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That is what Tromlin does.
Both of our satyrs deal with buns.
More
He's
like
definitely-
Tromlin derriere.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Is that a Corsetto?
What?
So I think
Let's
think
go to break.
no, don't go to break yet. I need you to fix the
Oh.
cameras though.
Oh,
So just going to drop the Jeff
on.
one.
hang on. Here we go.
So
Who dis? Who dis?
Oh my god.
Our audience can't see this yet, so you need to
Oh,
to
hell.
cameras.
I had it fixed already. I'm good.
I missed
Who
you.
You
got
You're
it?
muted.
I'm still seeing the Jeff clone. I think that's gonna.
There
oh,
you are. I'm
That's
muted.
fine.
Yay! And so,
Hi.
before we go to break, as you guys are mingling and milling about, another entrance occurs, and there's quite a stir as Glorpa walks into this fancy ballroom with a shambling mound on her arm, who's wearing his little bow tie. And he has found himself a new hat
Yes.
since Fetid stole his old one.
The shambling mound of Pound Town.
Yeah.
And I can reveal that the last poll from previous game on what NPC was going to make a cameo voted for the shambling mound.
Aw, perfect.
Oh, we love the shambling mound. Oh, good
Some
old
of
Okay.
us
mound.
really love the shambling mound, Glorba.
So with that, we'll take a short break. We'll maybe take a
short
shorter one than
rest?
usual because Danielle's only here for the rest of this game. So let's take a break till maybe 10 after.
Sounds good.
Do a
Alright.
short one.
Sounds good.
And
So
that gives
then,
everyone
I think-
time to think about their outfits for the
Oh,
party.
yeah.
All right,
Hi.
we're heading
Hi,
out.
Danielle.
Beautiful.